You know, I actually have a bit of a story to tell you all before I begin. And this is actually sort of meant to be a lesson for every one of us to remember. There are going to be times, no matter how old you are, or no matter where you are, where you will be feeling down. And sometimes, if you're lucky, out of nowhere, something or someone will come along and just seeing that thing or hearing their voice will just make you feel so much better than what you were several minutes beforehand. I say this because, as you guys remember, my low yesterday was I had not one, not two, but 3 nightmares. All back to back, and they all got progressively worse. I mean, the night before last night, I did not do a very good job explaining that. And I told you guys all about it, and I did feel a little bit better after sharing it with you all. But not several minutes after I finished recording and uploading the video, and this is like right after 6:30 in the morning, so again, I was not expecting this at all. But I actually received a call from my mother. And here's the thing. She was calling me because of stuff involving my apartment and whatever. I actually had it fumigated yesterday. Not like crazy fumigated. I mean, I'm in my apartment right now. It's perfectly fine. But, she was calling me about, several things. Really to make sure that my bed sheets are okay. And they were. And she was calling me on her way to work because she works at Corny Hospital from 7 o'clock in the morning to 7 o'clock in the evening. And she lives my parents live 5 minutes away from Corny Hospital, but, you want to, get there at a pretty good time, right? And just hearing my mother's voice, and I told her what had happened that night, again, having the 3 nightmares, and just hearing her voice made me feel so much better than I had prior to. Actually, I was already feeling better for making the video. I felt loads better after talking to my mother. And again, I love making videos. I do. And I always feel good after doing every single one. But there's just something about hearing your own mother's voice. At least for me. And and sometimes sometimes talking to my father makes you feel good too. Or just talking to any member of your family, or a beloved friend, a loved one, whatever. It just makes you feel so much better that you can't really describe how it works. It just does. And again, maybe it has something to do with how unexpected it was. Because again, this was like 6:30 in the morning. I was never expecting my mother to call me that early in the morning. But she did. And I almost completely forgot how bad I was feeling. It's kind of hard to completely forget that you had 3 nightmares. In fact, I'm going to remember that for a good while, actually. But I certainly don't feel bad about it anymore. In fact, if anything, I can use those nightmares to learn about, stuff going forward, It's, when it came to losing my phone, be more responsible with my phone. When it came to, losing my nephews under my watch, be very, very careful on my nephews. When it comes to being an astronaut, being away for 5 years, Okay, that last one is probably nothing I'll have to worry about. But still, you never know. And again, when you just hear someone's voice, in this case it was my mother, you're going to feel a lot better. So kids, if you take anything away from this, kids who are watching this, if you take anything away from this, never underestimate the power of a person's voice, especially if it's a family, a friend, or a loved one. Okay? Good. That's actually a very important life lesson that we actually all tend to take that for granted. That's actually something we really should work on. I mean, again, I'm guilty of having that problem too, so I'm not one to talk. But it really is something we all need to remember going forward in life. Because you just never know when stuff like that's going to happen. So with that out of the way, really the only things I have for my low were, I thought I accidentally deleted some photos that I had of my nephews, but I didn't. So, they're safe. I mean, do I even need to tell you that talking to my mother? I actually talked to my mother last night, too, after watching The Masked Singer, which I will be getting into momentarily. Talking to my mother, of course it's going to be my high. Are you kidding me? Why would anything be different from that? And my act of kindness was, well, actually, I ran into the woman who runs the apartment building, and I talked to her, and I told her I was going to make her some pickles for Christmas. So, yeah, talking to her and telling her what I'm going to do. Telling her you're going to do something, especially when you know for a fact you're going to do it, that can be an act of kindness. Good morning, happy Thursday, everyone. There's a lot to look forward to today. I don't even know where to start. There's an episode of Hot Ones today featuring Thundercat. That's going to be nice. Totally Not Mark is going to do a video on his thoughts on Act 2 of Wano, which I don't need to know any thoughts. I actually read it. Yeah. Man, it's going to be hard watching a Totally Not Mark video and him not talking about his thoughts on One Piece, because after this week, he'll probably do however far Act 3 of Wano is, share his thoughts on that, and that's going to be it for a while. Maybe he'll do a thoughts video for every One Piece chapter coming out. Who knows? Let's see. I guess the only thing to really talk about now is the fact that, holy cow, I was not expecting last night's episode of The Masked Singer to go the way it did. Not at all. Now, for those of you guys who didn't watch last night, again, there's going to be spoilers, so be prepared. Last night you had the Group A finals, where in Group A, B, and C, you have 3 competitors in each, and they're going to narrow it down to 2, thus giving us the Super 6. As in 6, contestants, 2 from Group A, 2 from Group B, 2 from Group C. And to narrow it down is everyone votes for the best singer, and the 2 singers who got the least amount of votes have a sing-off. Now, this is Group A. And Group A had the Sun in it, okay? The Sun was not only the first performer of this season, but everyone is already saying that she's going to be, the winner. Yeah, that's likely going to happen. In fact, the final 2 are going to be the Sun is number 1, followed right very close by the Seahorse. Although if the Seahorse upsets the Sun, that could be the biggest upset of the season, which is saying a lot considering what happened last night. So with that being said, if the Sun was whatever group the Sun was going to be in, of course the Sun was going to get the most votes to move on to the Super 6. How would that be any different? Thus leaving the final 2 contestants in Group A, the Snow Owls and the Popcorn. Now, I mentioned this way back when the season started. The Snow Owls were really all over the marketing for this season, because it was the first, couple. Who was going to be, how is that not going to get far? And, Group A finals, that's That's pretty far, right? So, with that being said, the fact that, if I was picking who was going to move on, I thought the Snow Owls were at least going to give the Sun a run for her money. But no, the Sun moved on right away, thus leaving the Snow Owls and the Popcorn. And considering that they were a couple, I thought for sure they were going to beat whoever the Popcorn was. And when it comes to the sing-off, it's really the judges who wind up voting. And naturally, we don't know who voted for who. I in no way, shape, and form thought the Popcorn was going to move on. This was probably the biggest upset of the season. I am not even kidding. The Popcorn wound up moving on over the Snow Owls. This is the Masked Singer. At this point, anything could happen. So part of me is still wondering why I'm even remotely shocked by this. But at the same time, the Snow Owls lost? I don't think anyone was expecting that. Although, with that being said, it was definitely very exciting unmasking for several reasons. The first, at least for me, is when the Snow Owls were represented on stage, they were like in a giant sort of like egg that was on like a cart with wheels that was like sort of pushed onto the stage, which, sort of signified, owls in egg, I guess, which was a very aesthetic, nice look. And so before the owls were first unmasked, they actually opened up the egg to see what the owls actually really looked like, behind the eggshell. And, so many people were like wondering who it was. And I honestly thought, because it was alluding to like country music and stuff, I thought it was Garth Brooks and Trisha Yearwood. But it turned out to be Clint Black and Lisa Hartman Black. Hold on a second. Yeah, Lisa Hartman Black. And, it was a great like sing-off, because both the Snow Owls and the Popcorn sang love ballads. Really good love ballads. So, yeah. To the Popcorn and the Sun, congratulations on moving on to the Super 6. The Sun is still probably going to be the winner overall this season. But man, if anyone, outside the Seahorse, if anyone's going to give the Sun a run for her money, I think the Popcorn can. Because that was easily the biggest upset of the season last night. And at least so far. So, maybe Popcorn can make a miracle happen. What can I say? Popcorn came here to pop, and pop she did. This is going to be a very good couple of episodes going forward. I'll say that much. Although, let's see. That leaves the crocodile, the seahorse, the serpent, the whatchamacallit, the broccoli, the jellyfish, and the mushroom that are all left. Who do I think? Well, the seahorse, that's going to be one of the Super 6. No questions about that. I think the jellyfish from Group C will be able to make the Super 6. But man, narrowing it down to 2 more, that's going to be tough. This should be a neat couple episodes going forward. Speaking of going forward, how about I go with tonight's NFL game, shall we? That's why I'm wearing the jersey after all. Let's see, the Colts and the Titans. Yeah, I'm picking the Titans. The Titans are at home. Ryan Tannehill, and I actually saw this article last night. In several ways, Ryan Tannehill is playing better than Patrick Mahomes, and no one's noticing. And I think that's why the Titans are able to fly underneath the radar. Not to mention, Derrick Henry is a moose that runs like a deer. Yeah, I'm picking the Titans over the Colts. That's an easy pick. Although I'm going to look pretty silly if I'm wrong. This should be fun. So, yeah. not much else, but, there's a lot to look forward to today. Again, a new episode of Hot Ones. Can't wait for that. A new episode, a new Totally Not Mark video featuring his thoughts on and review for what's going to be Act 2 of Wano, which I've been sharing with you guys, Wano practically from its very beginning since I started doing videos. So, yeah, this should be quite fun. I'll put a link to that tomorrow for sure. And, yeah. With that being said, like, favorite, share, the subscribe button, follow me on social media platforms, turn notifications on YouTube. I'm very humbled I made this video for all of you guys to watch and enjoy for today. I'm hoping you have a wonderful Thursday. And by the way, I hope all the veterans yesterday had a wonderful Veterans Day. I mean, I said enough already, but yesterday was dedicated to the veterans, and I really want to make sure it was hammered in because the veterans deserve that much respect. Anyway, and remember, if any of you guys want to talk or chat, I'm always going to be here to London here. I'll always be back. Take care and make good choices. See ya.